I'm like, yo, is there a bird? I hear a bird in the house. I can hear that outside. That's a good mic.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
All right. Well, good morning. How you doing today, Mike?
Are we live?
We're live
Shit,
and we're
you stuck in on me over here.
that's what she said. No, we're about to talk about the
Wait a minute.
playoff.
Wait a minute. Can I share something real quick?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Where the hell is it?
That's what she said.
Can you post that on the screen, please? I'm going to explain what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Ben Roethlisberger's living room with 2 minutes to go of the Vegas Raiders and LA Chargers game.
Yeah. You were even saying yesterday, we were messaging each other while the game was on. I was like, Big Ben was definitely throwing some type of fucking furniture.
Fucking couches will be being thrown across the room.
I'm not even a player, and I was fucking getting heated at that game. But obviously, we will go into that and more as we cover not only Week 18, the final week of the season, but of course, now next weekend is Wild Card Weekend. We get that extra Monday. They made a Monday night game now.
Super Wild Card Weekend.
Super Wild Card Weekend. Well, they called that last year as well. But we got a Monday night game, so we got the playoffs. The playoffs are set. The matches are set. It should be a really, really good upcoming weekend. So much so that we will be doing Monday Morning Quarterback on Tuesday next week, just so we cover all games of the playoff weekend. Normally, we bypass Monday night games, which always bothered me, but you can't call the show Monday Morning Quarterback and not go on at least on a Monday. You know, I can forgive not going on the morning, but, you know, and I've always said this too. Monday Morning Quarterback is a phrase. You can have it any day of the week. The Monday Morning Quarterback's sort of like the backseat driver. You know, it's just like it's the critique. We're critiquing the Monday Morning Quarterback. We're critiquing the games of yesterday. So, yeah, I know, Jim. Trust me, buddy. I was thinking of you. I mean, I was pulling for the Colts to win anyway. I think I said this on air last week. I was very shocked at this, and I'm sure this will come up at one point during the segments, but I was very shocked at the Colts losing. I mean, that's all they had to do is win. I couldn't believe it, but you said it. You definitely said it. If we get that type of Carson Wentz, and again, I really wasn't watching the game. I know just collectively they just looked horrible. They couldn't move the ball. They kept going for it, I think, on fourth down. But the game wasn't televised for me. I only had an option of watching, what was it? Bills and Jets. Or what was the other game that was on? Oh, Rams and, which I was definitely watching that game. The Rams game. Rams and Niners. Right? No, that's the playoff game that's coming up. What game is that? Who do the Rams just play?
Yeah, Rams and the Niners played yesterday.
It was the Rams and Niners. Okay, that's right. The Rams play the fucking Eagles. I'm sorry, not the Eagles. Who do the Rams play? Cardinals. On Monday. But yeah, so I watched the 49ers and Rams game. But I still can't believe the Jaguars. And my brother called. I think my brother called it last week. He's like, yeah, watch. I think the Jaguars are going to beat the Colts. You watch and see. And he was right. But yeah, dude. So really quick, while we're waiting for Juwan said he's on his way, or he basically said he was coming, but I didn't need to know that much. Let's talk about a couple of things. And I want to go over. Now, we all know it hasn't been announced yet, as far as I know. Nothing from the Giants side has been announced, but there were some announcements as far as the NFL goes.
Just about to say that. I already have the firings up on the screen.
And one of the big ones was Brian Flores. The Dolphins parting ways with Brian Flores.
Brian Flores, Matt Nagy, which everybody knew, Mike Zimmer, probably everybody knew. But here's the whole thing. Joe Judge still has a fucking job right now.
I know that.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know that. And let me tell you something. After yesterday's game, even more so, Mike, I'm with you. I want him out. I really do. I hate him. So much.
What the fuck was that play? He tried to explain it. And the whole reasoning is that he was going to try to do something with Eli Penny, and they were going to get yardage so that they didn't have punt from the end zone. He goes, which didn't happen. I'm just like, you asshole.
They went for a quarterback sneak on 2 consecutive plays, 2nd and 11 and 3rd and 9.
Who's texting me?
So it's just like, what? But dude, is that the only bonehead plays he's made all year? No.
No, he's
It's
made,
just
he's
a
made a
testament.
lot of bonehead plays.
But Jawan, I like your name, and I'm going to talk about that definitely at one point later.
Who calls a timeout with the clock running, and you both go into the playoffs?
It's unbelievable. Because at that point, seriously, let's wait. Let's wait till somebody brings that game up, because I'm pretty sure we will. But let me ask you something. Let's play hypothetical for a second.
I like my name better though.
Sure. I'm still trying to ignore that. Let's pretend the Giants do decide to part ways with Joe Judge. We all know Gettleman's going to retire. And Joe Judge
retire in quotes.
Let's say they get rid of him.
You're fired.
Let's say they get rid of Joe Judge. Any of these guys that just got fired come to mind?
Jim Harbaugh already said if the phone call comes, he'll take it.
So you rather Harbaugh over? And again, I'm not saying that this is what I want, but you got Vic Fangio from the Broncos just got let go. Zimmer, Nagy, and of course Brian Flores.
If you're gonna keep Daniel Jones,
yeah.
If you're gonna do this stupid fucking move and keep that idiot under center next year, Jim Harbaugh is probably your best bet because he can fix quarterbacks. He fixed Alex Smith in San Francisco before they got Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
I mean, plus he turned around the Michigan football team over there in to get them into the BCS this year.
That BCS, that BCS, you got to be careful.
That game's gonna be a good game tonight.
I'm going for Georgia.
Me too. Go Dogs.
Although
Jim Harbaugh. I mean, there was even rumors saying that if Harbaugh came over, that they were actually considering maybe doing a heads-up trade between the Browns and bringing Baker in.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I think maybe trying to fix Daniel Jones with Jim Harbaugh might be the right play. But
I know Baker was playing hurt, right? I know that, but at the same time, you blamed Odell, right? You got rid of Odell. And what are the Browns have done nothing. The Browns played themselves out of the playoffs.
Beat the Bengals yesterday. Oh no, wait, Case Keenum quarterback yesterday.
Case Keenum quarterback number one, and a lot of teams lost because they rest their starters either the whole game or part of the game. Look at the Packers. They put in Rodgers, I think, for the first half, if that. And then they pulled him.
If Jordan Love's going to be your future after if Aaron leaves next year, you got a real problem because this kid can't even do a fucking 2-minute drill.
You got to give him at least you got to give him a season,
Yeah.
All our great coordinators, but just not head guys. All right. I get that. I definitely get that.
What?
They give head. Joanne, what do you say? Any of the guys that got let go sound appealing to you as far as a head coach goes? What?
All of them.
I wouldn't mind. I actually, out of all of them, I wouldn't mind Flores because of what he did.
No.
I want Flores.
No, you don't get another Patriot guy for you guys to shit on again. Absolutely not. No,
I want Flores.
No, and that's what a lot of people are saying too. With when it comes to Joe, if Joe Judge stays, everybody is saying on ESPN that basically do not bring anybody in that has any DNA from Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
As far as GM goes?
GM.
Yeah, because then they're going to want
anybody. If they're going to redo the coaching staff, no DNA of the Patriots or Bill Belichick on Joe Judge.
Because he's going to want to retain Joe Judge.
If he keeps Joe Judge, I mean, I'd rather see him have a GM who's not related to anybody with Bill Belichick or Bill Parcells.
No, because I was listening to one of the sports radios in the car on the way home the other day, and they basically said, "I want somebody to come. I want somebody in, fresh. I wouldn't mind. What they basically said was, I want somebody with experience. I'd rather have a veteran to discipline and run this team. But if you are going to get a young kid or whatever, they don't want somebody from that DNA because they are more likely will have the conversations with Mara and try to, basically side with Mara in wanting to keep Joe Judge.
Exactly.
I don't
and that's
think those correlate. I don't think that makes any sense.
Well, if they had a relationship with him in New England, they might feel They're like, you know what? I'll give him another year. I'll give him another shot.
And that's the whole thing with Harbaugh, though, is that if Harbaugh comes in, he's going to request his own GM to run that team.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You would hire a head coach before getting a new GM?
No. I want you get a GM first. Let the GM decide. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but but when it comes with Harbaugh, though, he might even say he wants a certain person running the team.
Some are speculating the reason why they haven't announced it yet, and the reason why, I mean, they have said Joe Judge is most likely coming back, but maybe getting a new GM, maybe they're going to want the GM to decide, maybe speak it out with Mara, give him some feedback on what he wants as GM, and maybe Mara will be like, all right, you know what? Maybe we will go a different route. So who knows? But I would rather them hire the GM first. Let's hear who the GM is first. Then make the decision.
Well, if there's not going to be anybody outside the box, it's going to be
Abrams.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still pulling. I mean, a lot of people want Louis Riddick to be doing this, but I don't know how you're going to get him out of his ESPN contract.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. There's a lot of things that we talked about throughout the whole year. Last year, same fucking arguments. The Giants now have 2 first-round picks within the top 10.
5 and 7.
5 and 7. They need to build around what they have. They need to add some pieces. They're not going to be able to, unless, which I think is stupid. I said this, unless they want to do what other people are saying they should do and give the Seattle those 2 first-round picks and go and get Russell Wilson. I don't think so.
No, not with this
I don't
team.
think so. No.
Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones with this head coach, if he does stay.
Yeah, no, I know, Mike.
You're still going to end up being 4-13 or 5-12.
Their GM will be putting in his people.
There's going to be no difference in this team next year with Joe Judge still head coaching. You're still going to get 4-13 or 5-12 out of them.
I mean, look at other teams are rebuilding. Other teams, and some of them, and they said that about Ross, who's the owner of the Dolphins, that he's got a quick revolving door when it comes to coaches. He gets rid of coaches. He doesn't sit there and wait. There's no results, you get rid of them. And I understand, and I've said this too, Mike, because you've been arguing about Joe Judge for a while now. And I said, you know what, maybe we should get, maybe that's a little too harsh. Maybe we need to give him a full year. It's hard to evaluate him. It's hard to evaluate Daniel Jones. I'm okay with Jones starting one more year, but I am with you now, especially after this shit show of a year, finishing 4-13.
I mean, he wants to go out and blame Pat Shurmur for what happened last year and this year. Pat Shurmur wasn't there.
No, what about Garrett? You also blame Garrett for the play calling. What have you done on offense since?
I mean, your record right now in 2 years coaching this team is 10-23.
That should.
Your record right now as head coach after 2 seasons is 10-23.
If that doesn't give you the starting job next year, I don't know what does. I mean, they should give him a raise.
So a 10-23 record after 2 seasons gives you the right to be the head coach next year.
Well, Mike, they're going to say
this guy talks so stupid.
Yeah,
he wants to. I got players that were here with me last year don't want to come back. Who wants to come back to you?
That was the big thing, and that's what I was talking to my brother on the phone about. That was another thing that came out, that there's chatter in the locker room, and it's not a little bit; it's a lot. The players do not want him back.
I said that already. And you're going to have these players come back next year with the same guy?
I think that's why Mara. I think that's because remember, we were speculating that we were going to hear about Gettleman last night, if not early this morning.
Yeah, we're still waiting on the retirement announcement.
So something else might be coming. And I was so pissed because I was checking. I wanted to see something, if anything was mentioned. And I saw a tweet from Ian Rappaport saying that Giants will part ways with Joe Judge, and he'll announce it early this morning. But it wasn't the official Ian Rappaport tweet. It was somebody else pretending to be him. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. Juwan, what do you think? Because me and Mike have been talking over you.
I don't know. You guys are New York fans. You and New York and LA are probably the hardest fan bases to please. So I caution you guys to just be optimistic and realistic. And what I mean by that is the way your team looks this year probably won't drastically change next year.
No.
So Jesus could be your head coach next year, and you might look the same. So we can't be too quick on whoever the new coach is to say, all right, well, now you're on the clock. On the clock? I just got here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process. Like I told you numerous times, if you want Joe Judge gone, I'm not here to argue it.
I know.
I'm just saying there were so many things working against that organization from his first day there to today. I told you guys, if you don't think he's a good coach, not here to argue that. You don't think Daniel Jones should still be the quarterback? They would be the best Hail Mary plays, I tell you that.
I mean, he's not wrong. They would be all Hail Marys.
They would. If you guys want Daniel Jones gone, no problem. But to me, all the coaches that were fired are not just play callers. They're good head coaches. You look at what Zimmer did with Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You could make so many different excuses for why that team wasn't as successful as it should have been. I start with Kirk Cousins. I know you guys say all the time he's not that bad. Show me him being that good to get his team to the playoffs. That's what I want. I want more of you like that. I haven't heard that in forever. Where's that been? You like that? You like that? Where's that been?
I don't know.
Start there before I go to quarterback. Brian Flores led Miami to consecutive winning seasons since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it Brian Flores' fault he is in the same division as New England and Buffalo? No. Not at all. Not at all. His team would have to be Deshaun Watson in order to get out of that division. So to me, some of these guys, now Matt Nagy, I don't know how I necessarily feel about him. That team's just not good. It's a team that looks like it should be better, but it's just ultimately not that good. Could be from the quarterback position, whatever. So to me, I think you guys would be great with any of these guys. It's just all about who you want to be under your center. I think if you guys got Baker Mayfield, it'd be great for you. I don't understand why that's a phone call you wouldn't make. You don't like Daniel Jones. Baker Mayfield is clearly not worse than Daniel
No,
Jones.
he's not. He's not. I honestly, I don't. And I said this though, but I've said the problem is, and I said this too, and that's why Jones is the only one that is getting a pass in my book, is I don't think that was your issue because nobody they put under center. And I'm not saying obviously there are other choices for Fromm and Glennon, but I don't think anybody under center in the league, maybe excluding maybe Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, would have given you different results. That team.
I disagree. Do I think Baker Mayfield could have won you enough games to win your division? 1,000. 1,000.
He couldn't do it on the Browns.
Again, that division with Cincinnati coming not out of nowhere, because I saw that coming, but Cincinnati kind of raising its level. Steelers literally fighting for Big Ben this year.
Yeah.
The Ravens having a very inconsistent season. That's a very tough division to be in.
Yeah, Lamar getting hurt didn't help matters either.
You also,
that was just a tough. And again, if you're Baker Mayfield, again, like a lot of NFL teams, you were dealing with COVID a lot this year, injuries a lot this year. You didn't have Nick Chubb for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good wide receiver core.
No.
I mean, not a good wide receiver core. So a lot was working against Baker Mayfield. But do I think Baker Mayfield could have gotten your biggest wide receiver acquisition this year 1 touchdown? 1,000%.
Yeah, I know, and I said this too. I still came, and I've seen that stat, the one that you sent me. They got there was another stat where Mike, you were talking about it. The offensive lineman or one of the tackles scored more touchdowns than any of their star receivers or something like that.
Yeah. Andrew Thomas scored a touchdown.
Yeah. It's just, it's incredible. They go out and they get Galladay, right?
Galladay didn't do nothing. Andrew Thomas had more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay this season.
Wait, hold on a second. What is the Eagles' record? 9-6?
9-8.
9-8.
Yeah.
Bro, you telling me Baker Mayfield couldn't get you 9-8 to make the playoffs?
No, I get it.
Dude, before this season began, me and Joey did a preview show. I said, if Daniel Jones is healthy and the offensive line holds up, we could have won 10 or 11 games this year.
I think so. I think they could have won. There were games where they should have won, especially earlier in the year.
Dave Gettleman doesn't know how to draft fucking offensive linemen, and he wants to draft wide receivers and running backs in the first round.
I will say this. You guys know I'm a supporter of Daniel Jones, right? I'm a supporter of Daniel Jones. I don't think he's horrible. But Baker Mayfield is a much better down the field thrower than Daniel Jones is.
Baker Mayfield already has seen the playoffs already before Daniel.
That also. I mean, you could make an argument he choked in it, but yes, he has seen the playoffs.
I mean,
To me, if that's available, that's one of the first the Giants should be making numerous quarterback phone calls.
Well, the big issue with Jones now, though, too, and I am a little worried, they're saying not to worry about it. Mike, you spoke about it a lot, is how bad is his injury? Is he going to be able to come back? That's another thing. When it comes to the neck or whatever's hurting him, you got to worry about that. But also Maker, what do you call Maker? I almost said Maker Bayfield. Baker's injuries, it's not just one. He had like 2 or 3 injuries that he was battling at one point at the same time.
None of them are serious enough to believe that will halt him from being able to start next year.
And there was no offense to Baker. I'm not saying Baker is. I definitely think Baker is a better quarterback than Jones. But the other thing is too, and I hate this, and that's why again I'm not pushing for Jones to not be under center next year. I said it's hard to evaluate him. He's been hurt, and he's also been on a team that's not built to win. I don't know what he can do healthy. That's the simple thing. I really don't. He has shown, again, most times it's against Washington, but he has shown that he could be a good quarterback. So I don't know. I have no idea. But all right, let's talk about some of the games yesterday. 3 of them went into overtime. We have our players, our playoff set. Everything is set. Really quick, one last thing about the Giants. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. They have Gettleman's leaving them with some salary cap issues.
Oh, I'm telling you now, Mike. Don't worry about Godwin. There's somebody up in the Northeast that wants that kid badly. Follow any scooper from football, and they'll all tell you the same exact thing. He's going up Northeast, 100%. I guarantee you. But
Mike, what I'm saying is, and that's what one of the articles I was when I was searching up Gettleman, because I want to see if anything was announced yet before we went on. One of the things that came up is that he is leaving the next GM for some cap issues. So I don't know if they have any cap issues or what their opportunities are as far as cap goes. I think right now they got to use those 2 picks unless they trade one or both. At 5 and 7 first round, they can get a pass rush. They need an edge rusher.
I told you the cap was so bad one week that they had to restructure Gano's contract just to pay the practice squad.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
this guy put you in a fucking. Not only did he really make your team look shittier, our team looked shittier. He also put them in a financial fucking bind right now.
Juwan, what are you saying?
I'll do you a huge favor, okay?
You
work with me, I'll work with you.
All right.
Restructure Nate Solder's contract.
Okay.
And then give him to us.
Okay.
That's what I'll do for you. So you don't have to worry about that guy, right?
What are we getting in place of Nate Solder? Some cap room?
Yeah, just cap space. That's it.
Well, we were trying to unload him, what was it, last offseason or something like that? Or the season before that for cap room?
Yeah.
So basically you want him to come back home to New England so Belichick can fix him.
1,000%. Are you not seeing what Trent Brown's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. 100%. Nate Solder was amazing with us. I'll 1,000% take it.
All right, Mike, so you don't cry. What's your game of the week?
I'm not picking last night.
I don't really care what you do.
I'm picking Pittsburgh beating Baltimore. Big Ben's, it's supposed to be Big Ben's final moment. Oh, Big Ben is going to be tired after this game. Big Ben said, "No, I'm winning this fucking game."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bring him home.
Big Ben, said, "No, fuck this. I'm going to win this game." And then he tossed everything in his living room with 2 minutes to go last night.
Such a sloppy game, though. I mean, I granted, I know it was wet and rainy.
It was rainy. Oh, it was. By the time they got into overtime, it was pouring over there in Baltimore. I got one question, though.
Yeah.
Now that TJ Watt now beat the single season record, is there an asterisk next to that?
There is no, first of all, he didn't beat it.
He tied it.
He tied it.
But is there an asterisk, though?
Why would there be? I'll tell you 2 reasons why there wouldn't be an asterisk. One, he didn't beat it. And 2, even if he would have beaten it, he did it in less games than Strahan. He was hurt.
Man.
So
But
even with the extra week,
games.
it does. No, he didn't. He didn't play 17 games.
Even if he did,
the season was 17.
Forgiven.
It doesn't matter. He didn't physically play. He played fewer games than Strahan did that year. So, and I'm a Giants fan. I love Strahan. One of my favorite Giants of all time.
You can't give someone an asterisk because the league added another game. Like,
that's not.
Why?
They did it for Maris.
Babe Ruth's widow made Roger Maris go around with an asterisk for fucking 50 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that that's right.
No, it's definitely not right. And they finally removed it.
Right.
No, it's not right.
You're going to fault me?
I made Barry Bonds have an asterisk just for, taking a needle in the ass every game. But, that's just me. That's
that's completely different conversation. All right.
And I also don't think he should get an asterisk.
I don't think he gets an asterisk. No, I just don't think, and I've said this before too. And I don't want this to be a conversation about that. I don't think he goes into the Hall of Fame. Don't give him if you're going to keep the record up there, even though it's tainted, then you don't put him in the Hall of Fame. That's the trade-off.
Yeah. I just believe your best numbers, stats wise and viewership wise, was when half of your league was taking steroids.
Yes, and they knew that, and it's hypocritical. I'm gonna give you that much. It's very hypocritical because they use those guys to bolster the ratings, to save the sport. They 100% use those guys because
that was the only time since I believe like the 1980s, 1990s, baseball was ever in a conversation of being as popular.
Yeah.
Is football and basketball,
and that was because of the greed of the draft. Now, not the draft, the what do you call it, the strike and the lockout. Just saw that. Yep, got rid of Nagy and Pace, so they got rid of not only their head coach but their GM, as did Minnesota, and their was Spielman was with them for 16 years, I think. So that was a shock. All right, so. Obviously, and Mike, we'll talk about yours really quick.
Hold on. I'm having an issue here.
All right, but Big Ben did in fact give him the whatever chance. I think they said that he led the league this year with 6 come from behind wins in the fourth quarter. It was the NFL lead. He led the league with 6. So 6 of the now 9 wins because they obviously won yesterday. But 6 of their 9 wins, I guess. Well, wouldn't yesterday count though too? No, because they won in overtime. 6 of their 9 wins came with Big Ben trailing in the fourth quarter to lead whatever. So, yeah. And again, they did it without Lamar. The Ravens were hurting. Huntley, I still think Huntley's a great kid, and we'll see what he can do. If whether he stays on the Ravens or if he goes to another team, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, that was a sloppy game. What would you say? I'm sorry.
Lamar Jackson would have won that game.
It's possible. It's possible. It is possible.
That was very clear. 100% clear.
It was a very winnable game. Very winnable game.
1,000%. 1,000%. For sure.
Juwan, what do you got your game of the week?
Oh, 100%. My name here, obviously we can't see it, but Chargers Raiders.
Hold on, I'll put it up.
Chargers Raiders. First of all, let me say this was a game last week I specifically said I wanted no parts in.
I know.
Okay, so I want to stress that, but I also want to take time to do a PSA to my good friend Mike. Mike, when it mattered in this game, a certain someone threw a pass that was one of the best passes I've seen all year.
I will give him that.
That's what the analyst
said. That's probably the best pass he ever saw.
That's what Collinsworth said. It's exactly what Collinsworth said.
He said the best pass Derek Carr threw in his whole career was that pass.
That's fair, but your words were overrated. And last night, that man did everything to win that game with very little to lose it.
They almost lost that game.
No, he didn't.
They almost lost.
No, he didn't.
Let me tell you that
35 points.
the whole screw up was going for that freaking 2-point conversion.
That's an offensive. You could say that's the head coach's fault. That's offensive coordinator's fault.
Hey, look, I'll give the Raiders. Look, I said I give the Raiders credit. What they went through this year, all the shit with Gruden and all the shit with going on. They lost. They were 6-7. They went on a 4-game winning streak to get here.
Mm-hmm.
I give him credit.
I want you to give Derek Carr credit. I don't care.
I give the whole team credit because there's no I in the word team.
I'm gonna back up Mike a little bit there for a second, only because
your wide receiver got arrested for killing somebody with his car.
But what does that have to do with it?
Josh Jacobs did great. Your number one was.
Wait, did that happen on the field yesterday?
No, but
I was so confused.
But your number one receiver now is in jail.
Yeah, but your coach, hold on. The coach, the coach had violent diarrhea last night. You don't understand this.
All I'm saying is the man threw for 4,000 yards, had a very good 10-7 season. All I'm saying is there is 1,000% an I in every team. You remove one player, that team drastically changes. Pittsburgh doesn't have the success it does this year if TJ Watt isn't just playing out of his mind, right? So there are eyes in teams for sure.
But
Justin Herbert's off that Chargers team. Is that team anywhere as near as good as they are? Of course not. Of course not. You can't just plug in another quarterback and that team be as good as they were. Or
depends on the quarterback.
Consistent as they.
Depends
for
on
sure.
the quarterback.
Well, obviously, if you take him out and put Aaron Rodgers in, yeah. But that even lends more to my point of the eye of Aaron Rodgers coming in.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw the ball, run after it, and catch it. There's Devontae, there's Lazard, there's
But let me ask you this. What happened the one game Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, but everybody else was? They lost, right? They couldn't put any points on the board, right?
Right.
That's all.
Definitely an above average quarterback. I've never said otherwise. I think Derek Carr.
But here's the only thing that
Skyliner was a beast.
When Mike says that he's overrated.
Yeah.
I never said the kid was a Hall of Fame talent. I never said he was the top 5.
No.
I just don't think he is overrated. Overrated makes it seem like, all right, well, here's where the rated quarterbacks are, right? Yeah. He's clearly down here with some of the
frozen.
All right, we can hear him.
I didn't understand that. I don't know why I'm frozen.
Cobb doesn't get enough credit. Adams and Lazard are great, though. Yeah, that is true. But Cobb's been hurt. Cobb actually just got activated. What was it, last weekend? He was out. I don't know if he was hurt or it was a COVID. All right, we lost Juwan. He's probably going to reboot and come back.
In. I'll tell you, Alan Lazard has actually become my favorite pick for anytime touchdowns in playing parlays. He really is.
Yeah, no, Lazard had to step up. Lazard definitely one of them. But also, what I wanted to talk about as well, though, as much as, and I've always been an advocate for Derek Carr, you know this, is the fact that you have, Max Crosby on the defensive side. He got at Herbert a couple of times. He got a couple of sacks. That defense stepped up when it needed to as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, though. The defense, look, Derek Carr, whatever he did, fine. I'll give him credit for what he did yesterday.
Although, where was the defense on all those 4th downs?
6 fourth downs converted, the most ever in a game.
What?
6 first down conversions.
4 downs
yesterday.
4
downs, most ever in a game.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I have his full stats here because I wanted to make sure I recorded it. This kid went 6 for 6, 106 yards and 1 touchdown with a 158.3 passer rating on 4th downs.
Yep.
Versus the
and the highlighter was on point last night too. Let Jim get credit. The highlighter was on point.
Guyliner was on point. Let me ask you this now that we said this. I think we can all agree, and I was talking to my brother Mike about this before we went on as well. And me and Mike were messaging during the game, and I said this is unbelievable because all they kept talking about. That's all they kept talking about was, you got to do what it takes, whatever it takes to win.
Then when I saw the score, I was like, oh shit, I got to turn this on now.
Like the tie, they were going for a tie. The Raiders were being content with the tie. They weren't at one point when it was a certain amount of time and it was under a minute. There was no hesitant. There was no, what do you call it? They weren't trying to, what's the word? Not hesitancies when you lack. What's the?
They were just draining the clock. That's what they were doing. They
Yeah,
were handing off to. He kept handing off to Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs was like running 2 yards. All he had to do was just take a victory stance and just kneel 3 times. The game was over.
We do have to be fair, though. They did showcase. Hold on. Before we go as far as to say that, I do think he's an idiot, and that was somewhat of a miscalculation. But if you watch that play again, if Derek Carr had have hiked that football, he had a wide open receiver on the far right. Wide open. Carr could have hiked it, threw it to him, walk-off touchdown to end the game.
I think the Raiders were – I think the Raiders, honestly, and that could be – it could very well be. We'll never know. But I think the Raiders were showing them that they were running the clock out.
That's fair. But all Carr had to do was look over and see how wide open – I mean, there was no one near him. Not a safety over the top. There was no one over there.
But the fact they never called a timeout themselves.
But did anybody see the guy in the Pittsburgh jersey and the hat?
He was pissed.
He was ready to kill somebody on that field.
They caught Justin Herbert. He said on the sideline, "I'd kill for a tie right now."
Yeah.
And then after
Justin Herbert actually said, he goes, "I never wanted a tie so much in my career."
Yeah. And the head coach calls it time. Again, we're only criticizing it because he called the timeout and it still didn't work. Jacob still got the first down. They still kicked the field goal, right? Mm-hmm. This wouldn't have been a problem if you called the timeout, you stopped them, and then they had to kick the field goal from that distance, right? Even though that guy was perfection in that stadium, right? Hadn't missed there.
That's why I thought they were setting him up to miss. I really did, because that's all the announcers kept saying. He's solid here. He never misses. And what usually happens? I'm like, all right, it's gonna end in a tie. Here we go.
Bro, Chris
but he
knows
obviously
what
made
he's doing when he does that. He always says that. He always goes, "Watch." And now that I said that, they'll miss this.
Yeah,
pass.
of course.
Like, well, Chris, shut your mouth. Like, shut up. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
But no, it was just one of those games. Again, Justin Herbert. Do not hold your head down. You are easily going to be one of the best quarterbacks of this next generation.
I said 3 to 5 years. This is year number 2.
Now, Herbert, proved that. Yeah.
Again, a lot of this season was Herbert's fault too. He pooped the bed a lot. But again, the Raiders just went out there, played a great game. They won. Chargers, you got to look at a few things, man. You do. Keenan Allen, I said you were the best wide receiver in the league. Right across the middle, you got to
catch that. You got to catch that. There was a few big drops though, from different stars in this weekend. So it's not just Allen, but yeah, I couldn't believe that.
That pass, you got to catch that.
Yeah.
He's been talking about he thinks he's the best wide receiver in the league. I don't remember many times seeing Devontae Adams drop wide open across the middle passes. I can't recall many. You got to catch that shit. Did Jamar Chase drop anything this year?
I think earlier in the year that was his issue. If I'm not mistaken.
The way the kid's been playing, I think Jamar Chase has been taking the football from other teammates.
Yeah, no. Jamar Chase, second half, I think that's why every time I would bring up or I would look up whether Chase might get the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, which I think he should, but a lot of people were saying, well, I hope he does. But a lot of people were saying, though, he had he had a lot of drops earlier in the year, or he didn't have that many stats wise. Everything was in second half. But I'm like, well, it's still there.
I'm going to tell you this. Whoever said that, they don't pay attention to the whole scope of football. And I'll tell you why. Mac Jones' first 4 games and Mac Jones' last 5 games. You look at those and you go, Jamar Chase could have had 1 400-yard game, and I'd give it to him. For that. Mac Jones has played too many bad games this year.
Yeah.
For someone to look at that and go, no, he clearly should win it. What? Based off of what? So to me, it's Jamar Chase award to lose.
I hope so. Because he had, record breaking. You know, he broke the record for rookie receptions.
Which is crazy. If you look at
yards.
Jefferson and you're like, well, clearly that guy is the best wide receiver, the best young wide receiver. Then you look at Jamar and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Chase. Maybe Chase is better than Justin Jefferson.
All right, you guys picked 2 really good games. I'm going to have to go with the other one, and that was the other overtime game, is the 49ers and Rams. Garoppolo, the team was down, either 17-0 or 17-3 at one point. I know it was at least 17-3, I know, by half. They came back, tied the game last few minutes, and then they ended up winning the game in overtime. And it was all Garoppolo for the most part. Garoppolo said, hey, you know what? I'm still here because a lot of people thought, or I think it was said that Lance might come in a little bit or either for a few plays or whatever. But Garoppolo still, and we said this, Garoppolo, if it is going to be Trey Lance's team moving forward, Garoppolo's got to showcase what he's got, and I think he did. I think he did just that. And he earned, because of that, he earned his team a playoff win. And not a playoff win, a playoff berth.
Right.
So they're now in the playoffs with that win, which was big. The Rams still clinched the division because the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks.
Did you want to tell me again how much you like Matt Stafford?
I still look. We know that Stafford, as far as interceptions, and that we've talked about that the last few weeks now, and that's been basically a consistent theme with him is the interceptions. Statistically, he's still top 10 quarterback in the league. Statistically,
he always will be. But again, that's why I said he's very flash in the pan.
But I thought, especially being on this core, on this team, now that you got Beckham, which Beckham is, like I said, and I said this last week, Beckham is showing that what he can do in LA, which, all right. Cup, still a beast. The Rams got weapons, both on offense and defense. I think they're number one. Or no, either they're the number one offense or the Bills are.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If you're LA, you better pray you at least make the Super Bowl. Because if you don't, you could have given only slightly a little bit more and had Deshaun Watson. That's something you will forever have to live with.
But you don't know what was going to go on with Deshaun Watson.
Time out. Here's what I keep trying to remind you, Mike. There was nothing this season. Nothing. There's been nothing court-wise, nothing. The Goodell came out and said he wasn't going to put him on the exempt list this year. There's not enough evidence. So he could have played this year. So that's my point. You could have had Deshaun for this season. Forget about later on, because, again, Stafford's not going to play for another 5 years, so he'll be gone soon. So, that's not a long term either. So you would have been in the same spot. So if you got Deshaun, then he left. You're still looking for a replacement, right? So all I'm saying is Deshaun this year, I think, would have given you a tremendously better chance of winning a Super Bowl than with Matt Stafford. That pass to Odell to seal that game, Odell couldn't have been more wide open if you throw that, if you put a little bit more mustard on it.
He definitely underthrew that pass. That was a wide open pass. But let me ask you this, though. At the point that this deal was made, which was obviously in the offseason, they didn't know that Watson was going to be able to play this year.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is you did all that, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is the reason why they'll regret it. Let's say Deshaun Watson does not have any more legal troubles, right?
Right.
It gets solved out of court, whatever, right? You don't have the assets to go after Deshaun Watson now. So now you're stuck with Stafford till he retires, and then you're just like, well, I guess we rebuild again, right? With no pieces to do so, no draft picks, no young and up-and-coming quarterback. You got to do it that way.
Yeah, but you're also – I understand what you're saying, but first of all, again, it's hindsight because the deal was made way before anything happened. So you can't say, well, they could have gotten this because they didn't know what they were getting with Watson. Watson has a lot of legal trouble surrounding him right now. But the other big thing is we're forgetting is they went 12-5. They won their division. Granted, Stafford has been playing sloppy, but they're still 12-5. It's not like this is we can't talk about rebuilding. We can't talk about – and we got to give them credit. They still won the division. Now, of course, they won the division with the help of Arizona tanking. Yeah, that was a big thing too.
But what I'm saying is what he's doing this year isn't anything spectacular. We forget Jared Goff led this team to a Super Bowl with a almost comparable record. So what I'm saying is the only way I could give him the leeway you're asking for is if they at least get to the Super Bowl. I don't put losing a Super Bowl on anyone. But
nothing to take away.
No problem.
Nothing to take away from the Niners, but the Rams brought them back into the game with the coaching and then playing umbrella defense in second half. And even play call on offense to run it 3 straight times went up 7. There was because I was watching most of this game, and I really didn't think it was going to be as close as it was at one point, obviously, when they were up 17-3. But maybe the play calling and the umbrella defense, the letting up because you had a certain amount of lead, maybe they did allow the 49ers to get back in the game. Again, it wasn't, with the exception of seeding, they still won the division, because of Arizona losing. So they still needed to win that game. So I don't know what it was. So I don't know if it was a McVay play calling or whatever it was, but I still think, again, the Rams are in a good situation as far as record wise. They're in the division. They won the division. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, if I'm pretty sure, I can't speak for the organization, so I don't know. But I think if we would have gone back in time and say, hey, listen to the Rams ownership or front office or whatever, hey, you got a shot of maybe getting Deshaun Watson and he's going to be able to play this year. I think they might have made a different choice. But you can't, because we didn't know that at the time. If they would have known it at the time, then you can criticize and say, you know what, you guys could have had this for a little bit more. Instead, you went with Stafford, which I still think was a great move, because I think Stafford on this offense is good. He just has to stop letting it rip.
We'll see, because if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, I want you to remember, Jared Goff did.
God, I don't know. I still think that team was different. I really do. I think that the team that I don't know. I don't know if this was the same, because Goff did, but then he obviously shit the bed in the Super Bowl. That whole team shit the bed in the Super Bowl. It was one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever watched in my life. I just could surprise a lot of people in playoffs because of the way their team is built. I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners win.
It depends. If I'm Dallas, I'm making Jimmy Garoppolo beat me. I'm not letting you do these Deebo Samuel handoffs and whatever. You're going to drop back. You're going to throw it 40 to 50 times this game. And if you beat us, God bless you. But I'm taking that chance. With Diggs on my end, Micah Parsons coming off that edge, I'm forcing that guy to stay in the pocket and throw that football.
It's going to be a good game. What is that? Sunday, 4:30. All right, let's go to surprises of the week. Juwan, I'll start with you with this one. Be fair.
Texans, you're killing me, bro. You had Ryan Tannehill.
Yep. Right
in your hands. And you couldn't grab him and bring him down. He throws a first down into the game.
I still can't believe. First of all, I mean, I can't believe that they even made it a game. Let's start there. The Texans made it a game. I couldn't believe it because
it's one of those things where it's like end of the year plus a divisional game, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're the Texans, you're like, well, wait a minute. Their star running back didn't play today, so he's still not there. If we beat them, we force his running back to have to come back a week earlier than they wanted him to, which could maybe mess some things up for the Titans. So you kind of feel like you're playing spoiler a bit, right? So they were going to come out and give you everything. They had nothing to lose.
I'm sure Patrick Mahomes would have not mind that.
100%. So I understood why the Texans played them so tough.
Yeah.
I was just more so shocked that they couldn't get the job done. You had it. You had him here, and somehow he just ducks out first down. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I was so angry. Like, you had him. So now they get the first round bye, and it's just, bleh.
Yeah, Mike's still talking about the Niners. Niners got the heart, and they have play with high energy, but can put the pace on teams. Okay, I think Dallas is the better overall team, which I also agree with. But Jimmy, the gangster Garoppolo, can win. We'll see. I don't know if anybody else is calling him the gangster.
I think you're getting your brothers confused. That was Nick, not Mike, that posted that.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He's still because they're talking about the Niners. Well, I still said brother. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, but you called him Mike.
I said the wrong name. Calm down.
I offended the guy.
Because you know what it is? When the mouse is hovered over the comment, it's blurry. And the what do you call it? The beginning of his sentence is Niners, and Mike's sentence previously was Niners. So I just assumed it was still Mike continuing the conversation. But thank you for correcting me, because I was just looking at the comment. I didn't even bother looking at the name. Either way, I do agree the Niners do have heart. And Garoppolo, I mean, he definitely played yesterday like a gangster. And yeah, Mills, that was
like him
another thing too. Mills has actually been playing pretty well his last few starts. I mean, he's no Deshaun Watson, but in the beginning of the year, we were like, all right, Mills is all right. Who was it? Was it Tyrod?
Yeah.
Yeah, with no Tyrod, they got no shot. Who's this Mills kid? But Mills has actually been playing pretty well.
I tell you what, if you're Mills, you're a little nervous because if the Texans go out and hire Brian Flores, that means Deshaun Watson will play as a Texan. He won't move. He wanted to go to Miami for Brian Flores. So you bring Flores in there. Again, you just said you're retaining your head coach, so we know that's not going to happen. But you want to keep Deshaun Watson. You go get Brian Flores.
Colts hands down go from a team people would hate to play in the playoffs, which I also thought they were going to be a scary team going in, to a team that looked like the real Jags, never showed up on both sides of the ball. It was bad. It was bad.
Oh, man. I said it before. You Colts. Oh, we beat New England. Look how much we beat them by. Look, we stomped them. This is our Super Bowl. And guess what? Guess where you're at? You're
Carson Wentz shit his pants and the bed.
Well, even Taylor wasn't a factor. That defense of the Jaguars stepped up.
No.
Lawrence,
don't you put this on Taylor.
Look at Lawrence.
I ran you all the way to this point.
This was Trevor Lawrence's best game of the season.
Mm-hmm. But time out. What else was this game? A divisional game where one team had nothing to lose.
100%.
But could play spoiler, right?
Look, that is one. Look, first of all, and I've always said that those are dangerous games. When you're a team like the Texans or the Jaguars, you're playing within your division or even not in your division. You got nothing to lose and you're playing spoiler. Hell yeah. It gives you an extra incentive. It definitely gives you an extra push. So I'm not surprised when I said earlier that I was surprised about the Texans making it a game. It wasn't because I was surprised that they were playing. I was surprised that because they were the Texans, because they really didn't do well overall the whole season, I was surprised that, I guess more so, that the Titans allowed the game to be as close. So, I still am surprised, and I'm sure we'll get that to them in a minute. Mike, surprise of the week.
Miami beating New England.
All right, surprise. They've done it like the last 4 years in a row.
But New England had everything on the line going for that one. If they had a chance to win the conference, if they would have won.
I forgot about that game, dude.
Bills won. So if New England won, they still wouldn't have won the division.
No, but I'm saying though, if the Bills would have lost,
that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, Miami had a chance to win the division.
That wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't. When I saw they were down, the first thing I said is, the Jets are gonna figure out a way to screw New England 100%.
But let me ask you this though. Hold on. I don't know on the top of my head. I really don't know what the scenarios were. And listener Jim said 100% they should never have been in that position. Yes, the Bills win and they won the division, so it didn't matter what the Patriots did. But what about as far as seeding goes? If the Patriots would have won,
seeding wise, they wouldn't have won up.
The Patriots would have won. They would have played who? The Bengals.
It wouldn't have changed because New England couldn't have gone any higher than 5, I believe. They couldn't have gone any higher than 4 or 5. Yeah, they're 6 right now because they're playing Cincinnati.
So they could have been 5. So actually, they cost themselves a seeding.
Yeah, but 5 wouldn't have changed anything. You would have still probably had to play the Bills, or worse, the Chiefs. So the position New England was in was perfect. You wanted to either play Cincinnati, which again, thank you, Chargers.
That's what I figured. Yeah, if the Patriots would have won, they would have played the Bengals instead of the Bills.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Win or lose or tie, you would have had to either play the Bengals or the Bills. That's it. You wouldn't have been able to do anything else.
As a Patriots fan, though, let me ask you this. Which team would you have wanted to face? Do you like the fact that you're facing the Bills?
Bengals.
So that's what I'm saying. So
But there would be nothing that would bring me orgasmic joy more than seeing Josh Allen in prime time just completely shit the bed.
Well, look, it's a rematch of that game at home. So let's.
And guess what, Joe? There's
is it going to snow?
Chance of snow out in this piece. So
hold on.
Make your excuses and whatnot.
hold on a
Josh
second.
couldn't get his footing, and his foot slipped, and he was crying. And
No. Hold on a second. Let's hold on. There's a difference between some snow, which I'm sure, being from Buffalo, they're accustomed to it. And what was it? 40-mile-an-hour winds?
They never had those winds before.
No. Not like that. And he
So
still threw.
So what?
And he still threw it. He still threw darts. He was still throwing darts.
So the wind that one day said, "Oh man, New England's coming. Let's get."
Wait, no, I think it was 60. I think it was 60 miles an hour.
Come on, man. Come on.
Snow. I mean, look, hold on a second. Ask Mac Jones how bad. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. He didn't throw a pass.
They would have played. If they would have won, they would have played the Bengals. I think they, like you said, it would be better for them to play the Bengals than to play the fucking Bills.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
100%.
100%. You have a quarterback that I think they played Joe Burrow his rookie year. No, I don't think they did. I don't think they played the Bengals. I think Brady was the last time they played the Bengals. So you're getting a head coach and a quarterback who have seen Bill for the first time. Bill was going to scheme the hell out of Joe Burrow for sure. But there's nothing Bill's going to show Josh Allen that he hasn't seen two other times the year before, two other times the year before that. There's just nothing Bill's going to do Saturday that Josh Allen won't be prepared for.
What about the Chiefs? Would you have wanted to face the Chiefs?
I think everyone should want to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're so beatable. They're 100% beatable right now.
I agree. I think they're more beatable than the other two.
Watching Hill limp around, and all I got to do is take out your tight end. And then
after doing – that was all from stunts he was doing before the game.
Probably doing backflips and whatnot.
Backflips and jumps, yeah.
Yeah, stupid idiot. So yeah, I wouldn't have minded the Chiefs, but again, Patrick Mahomes he licks his lips whenever he plays Bill Belichick because he knows he could put up 40 a game. So no, I wouldn't. All right,
well, my surprise of the weekend. I'm really surprised that I'm more surprised now, not of the game, that none of you's talked about it. We've been talking about the whole show, and this goes to listen to Jim. Is the fact the Colts could not prevail against the lowly Jags. I understand.
Who's that quarterback?
What?
Who's
Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence?
No, the Colts. Who was their quarterback?
Carson Wentz.
Phillip Rivers.
Oh, Carson Wentz. Oh,
hey, man.
I told you guys I was
Andrew Luck.
They were sold on.
Hey, I still can't believe that. I was telling listen to Jim, I wasn't able to watch the game live because it wasn't televised by me. And he said he's like, I wish it would have been blacked out for me too. But when I was looking at the score and they kept, game breaks, they would go to the game and you would see like the Colts going for a fourth down again and not getting in.
Actually,
it was just
actually CBS didn't even run a ticker. They actually had whatever game you were watching, and in the box where the ticker's supposed to be, they actually had the whole game letting you know play by play what was going on.
Juwan, you nasty today. You just nasty.
Listener Jim, it has nothing to do with you, but Colt fans in my DMs and mentions were unbearable. It was like they had just won the Super Bowl. So I was waiting for this moment when Carson Wentz did what Carson Wentz does and laid a goose egg. And then you guys are going to have to just sit in it. Sorry, I know you're a fan. I apologize. It's not you. But your brethren out there, they are horrible. I was waiting for that moment. Oh, I was waiting for that.
But does this say a little bit more about the because this isn't the first time, obviously, we heard of Jaguars Josh Allen on defense, right? He's got 2 sacks. They had a total of 6 sacks. Obviously, the Colts shit the bed. We know this. But is this also more of a testament to what the Jaguars are showcasing now on the defensive side of the ball? And maybe moving forward, something that they can work with. Maybe give Lawrence a little bit more offensive weapons. I don't know what his troubles. I mean, obviously, one of his troubles was throwing the ball to the other team. But at the same time, as he matures, maybe some more weapons on him. Their defense has been, and again, they're still one of the worst teams in football, but defense, 6 sacks.
Or depends who they get as the head coach next year, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I can't answer that until I see who the head coach is to see if it's a defense.
I mean, if your head coach is going to be what's his name, Jawan, your offensive coordinator over there.
Oh, McDaniels?
Yeah, please.
Oh, wait, you know what? I'm not going to do that because it covers whatever. All right. We got the NFL playoff picks. I wanted to do something fun with this. Now, it's going to get a little confusing at one point because obviously we're going to have different picks, I'm assuming, to a degree. Hopefully we can agree on all of them, but I doubt we're going to agree we're definitely going to disagree on at least one of them here.
Look at your hoodie. Of course we're not going to agree on all of them.
I know. So that's what I meant when I said that. All right. But let's go. And this is just for a graphic. We don't really even have to use this, but we will because I took the time to make it. So we're going to use it. But look, first game of the wild card weekend is on Saturday. It's Raiders at Bengals. There's only 2 games on Saturday. Raiders at Bengals and Patriots at Bills. Who do we got for the Raiders at Bengals?
Oh, the future league MVP, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, and they win by a touchdown.
Mike, what do you got?
I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Okay. I mean, I know the Raiders have been playing with heart, and they nearly tied. They nearly tied yesterday. Carr, we've talked about Carr. I was never against Carr. I don't think Carr is overrated. I think he is an above average quarterback, hands down. And he gives his team a chance to win. But the weapons that the Bengals have, now we're in the playoffs. There's a lot more at stake. I'm gonna go also the Bengals as well. Really quick, listener Jim says, I know they are. You should hear the local sports talk. They want Frank's head, Carson's head, and Ballard's.
Well, again, listener Jim, you guys are the same organization that had the nerve to boo Andrew Luck. So again, when I saw that you guys booed Andrew Luck, I always said to myself, I will never respect or like this franchise fan base. So I'm glad you guys are where you are.
All right, next game, prime time. I'm assuming we're all going to go what?
Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm going Bengals. That's why I kept it there. Bills at Patriots. I'm sorry. Patriots at Bills. Patriots at Bills. I'm going to move this here only because that's my pick. Obviously, I'm going to try to make an indication as far as who picks what. I'm just going to have to use text.
Joey, why don't you just put letters there instead of moving everybody over?
What?
We just put letters for us, like MJ and JU for Jawan.
Can't put letters there because we're not going to win.
No, I mean for picks. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? We're not going to win.
Because then what if one of us would have picked the Raiders? Where would you put the Raiders then?
I put the Raiders there as well, and then put like an initial there.
Joe.
Yeah.
Mike Garofalo just said that Joe Judge is meeting with his players in a few minutes. The expectation is that he will lead the meeting with an eye to the future. Sources tell him and Ian Rappaport that the same tone was struck in the meeting with the coaches a short while ago. So I think that all but indicates he's staying. Unless you get a big enough GM, it just goes absolutely not.
That means basically Abrams is going to stay as the new GM. And
was Gettleman let go yet?
No, that's what I thought. Because it just said Giants news. So when I clicked on it, I thought, oh, maybe this is it. No, it wasn't that.
You know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to make it this way. This is what I'm going to do. I'm obviously making an indication of our picks like I always do. I'm writing it down. I'm going to have the graphic strictly my picks. All right? We'll do that. We'll just do that. We'll do that. Just so there's no confusion. All right, so I'm going Bills. Who are you guys going for?
Are you asking me? I don't understand.
I know who you're going for.
Mike. Yeah.
Mike, who are you going for? Bills?
You know who I'm going for.
I don't know. Pats.
Yeah, I'm Mac Jones. I'm a Mac Jones guy.
Okay. All right. And
there's faith in the kid.
Steelers and Chiefs.
I refuse to pick this game.
You can't.
I can't pick this game. I'm torn.
How are you torn?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Hold on. Joe, your logic tells you Josh Allen can beat Bill Belichick. But then your logic also tells you Mike Tomlin can beat Andy Reid.
I think anybody can beat Andy Reid this year. And here's why. And I was this is my logic. My logic is more not Tomlin versus Andy Reid. My logic is more what has been known to shake up that Chiefs team, and it's been good defense. And the Steelers have shown with TJ Watt.
But their offense isn't really any good.
Their offense is horrible. I agree with you. Their offense is horrible.
Game? I don't understand.
So Joe, wait a minute. You are not going to let us have our picks? You're going to leave us on the losing end?
No, your picks are right. I'm writing your picks down. I'm going to be on the loser end because I'm fucking.
Well, then why don't you just put the Patriots over here below Buffalo and that's us?
Okay, I'll do that then.
Play fair. There you go.
All I'm saying is, look, if you're saying, because I like you, I like where your head's at. If you're saying Steelers can beat the Chiefs, then I 1,000% feel much better about New England beating Buffalo. And then they damn sure can beat Pittsburgh. They always do. That's a streamline to the Super Bowl if you're New England. If the Chiefs get knocked off in the first round, New England wins, they're 1,000% going to the Super Bowl. There's nothing that will change that. So I like where your head's at. I'll take that. I'll take that in a heartbeat. So you know what? Because I love the way you think, Joe, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh also.
Nice. Oh, I almost okay. Mike, who are you picking?
Look, I love Ben. I love Ben all day. But for Christ's sakes, it's fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
and they're going, and then my Super Bowl pick. I got to go with Kansas City on this.
Oh man, yeah. My Super Bowl, one of my Super Bowl picks is gone.
Chargers.
Yeah.
This just takes so much time.
Just know, theoretically, Mike, I agree with everything you just said about the Chiefs winning this game. But look, I feel like Joe is spewing.
No, Joe has a very good point. I think, but at the end of the day, though, Patrick Mahomes can put more points up on the board than Ben Roethlisberger.
1,000%.
Patrick Mahomes will figure out a way how to beat Pittsburgh's defense.
I personally don't think Steelers stand even remotely. I think this game will be done in the first quarter. But again, there's something about Joe's confidence that I'm liking. So again, if New England wins and has to play the Steelers, I will see you guys in the Super Bowl.
Really?
What?
No, Nick's saying Chiefs and Buffalo. So I think he's going Chiefs and Buffalo.
I mean, that's probably the game. It's probably Vegas's odds of high odds of getting Buffalo and Kansas City.
This is just horrible. This just looks like shit. All right. So so you guys are going. So I guess we just went all AFC. All right, but we were not even going really according to games. But all right. So really quick, me and Jawan went Steelers.
Now, are we going to do just this wild card weekend or
are we doing the whole bracket, Joe?
Let's do the whole bracket.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't know.
So then you want to finish up with the AFC and then we'll go to the NFC?
We did finish up with the AFC. Oh, you want to do that? No, let's do the wild card weekend and then for the NFC and then we'll go whatever. Okay. All right. Let's start with Rams at Cardinals. Cardinals at Rams. I keep saying it the wrong way. The home team's on top.
Cardinals are 8-1 on the road. And like Juwan says, Matthew Stafford scares the shit out of me. I'll take Arizona for this one.
Probably both going to be on the same boat there.
Yes, Matthew Stafford will throw a pick six to end this game and go home and make all not Charger. I'm sorry.
And Buda Baker will be the one to run it back.
We could only dream, Mike. We could only dream that Buda Baker's the one that
Buda Baker. Buda Baker.
Some Buda Baker.
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, dog is coughing a lot.
Give it a cough drop.
Actually, Angela gave her one before. There's actually doggy cough drops.
Oh, you little bitch.
So she gave her one before she left for work.
This is so much easier to do on the phone. I'm not going to lie.
I like doing it on a laptop better than on the phone using Canva.
That's what she said. All right, so you guys are going with Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Rams. 49ers. You know what? I'm not going to write it down because I have it right here then. Cowboys at 49. 49ers at Cowboys.
As much as I want to see Dallas fans just stew in it, I've had Jimmy G. I've seen Jimmy G. He's not going to get this done at all. So I'm going with Dallas. Michael Parsons is going to have a huge game.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. I think the Cowboys, and I agree with Mike. He said it earlier. I think the Cowboys are the better team. I know both Mike and Nick praised Garoppolo and the 49ers and how they're playing. Personally, I want to put, and I think I'm still going to put, it's not an indication. Steelers are the same way. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be honest. Steelers are more of who I want to win versus who I think are going to win. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I am a little sold on their defense, although their offense is completely garbage. I've said this. I mean, it's just horrible. Watching that offense is horrible, except for Harris. Harris is their only bright spot in the offense when he runs the ball, or runs the ball effectively, I should say. But if you stop Harris, then you're just relying on Roethlisberger. He's just, whatever.
And another thing that you don't know how Harris's knee is going to play out after yesterday because he didn't play. He didn't play 3/4 of that game yesterday.
I'm going 49ers because I am an NFC East guy. I'm a Giants guy. So hold on. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking the same thing. Basically, how the fuck does Joe Judge outlast Brian Flores? What the fuck? And Jawan, you basically gave that sentiment earlier, basically saying, Flores had back-to-back winning seasons. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs this year, but they still had back-to-back winning seasons. And I think the Dolphins actually have less to work with. They have a good defense, but they have less to work with.
I agree. And Judge was more and more like Tua. He's not the guy.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, I'm assuming, are both going to go Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas. I don't know about Mike. Mike, you going Dallas?
I don't want to, but Michael Parsons is going to need Jimmy G alive.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
This is fun. Okay, boom. And then bring that Joe over here. Bring that Joe down to Joeville. Mm-hmm. All right. Last game in the wild card round. Eagles at Bucks. Eagles are a scary team heading into the playoffs, but I don't think they're that scary. I hope I'm right because I really can't stand the Eagles. I think they are probably. I see the way Mike feels about the Eagles is how I feel. I mean, the way Mike feels about the Cowboys is how I feel about the Eagles. They're probably them and the Jets are probably my most hated teams in the NFL. So I'm going to go Bucks. Hold on. Nobody gave the Raiders a chance?
Hell.
No, I'm not saying that we didn't give the Raiders a chance, but I mean.
Hell no, I don't. You serious? If Herbert can do that on 4th down, what will Joe Burrow do on 1 through 3?
Brian Flores may be hired. Maybe. He's going to definitely be hired somewhere. He's a good young coach that definitely has potential. I like him going to the Vikings or Raiders. He's definitely going to be on people. I think he's going to be on people's speed dial. No?
Look, don't put the Vikings on Brian Flores. You just said how much you like them. Why would you make him want to have to coach that freaking guy up there? Raiders would be great for him, for sure.
You guys going Bucks or Eagles?
See, this is tough for me. I'd rather not pick. I want Brady to lose. I'd never want to see him in the playoffs again in a Bucks uniform.
Yeah.
But the Eagles took away a Super Bowl that meant everything to me, more so than that 2007 Super Bowl. And their fan base was disgusting after that.
Trust me, I know all about how disgusting their fan base is.
Is there any way this could end in a tie and both teams go home?
No. That's I don't think that's an option here in the real world.
I can't. I'm sorry, Joe. I can't. I want them both to lose. I can't.
Mike, who you going? You're going Bucks, right?
As much as I hate to say it, I'm questioning the age factor. He was losing yesterday to Carolina, and all of a sudden, boom.
Listen to Jim says, all I see is this coming down to another Bucks KC Super Bowl. I actually picked.
It's not going to be a Bucks KC Super Bowl, Jim.
Hell no. Not even close.
No, it's not, because it's going to be what I picked earlier before the season started, Bucks and Bills.
No, it's going to be Green Bay and Kansas City, like I said.
Well, it's definitely not going to be what I said.
It can't be the Chargers and Chiefs. Chargers and Packers.
Yeah.
I'll be at the Bengals game this Saturday. Wow.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Tampa, Joe.
I almost said let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
But I meant it in a way where let's go, Brandon, because he's going to the game. So for that,
is that a team for you? It's the Browns, the Brandons, the Bengals,
the Browns,
yes,
and
Bills. Okay.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna leave it at that. Bucks, because Mike's Jawan's not picking, so we're just gonna leave the Bucks there. None of us want the Eagles. I think we can all agree there.
Yes.
All right. So let's go to the future.
Jawan's picking the Bucks without saying he's picking the Bucks.
Let's go to future games now.
Yes.
Let's go to future games. What do we got as far as? Let's start with the AFC, I guess. You got the Titans and Bengals. Who do you guys see? Cincinnati?
Yep.
Yeah. Because Vegas does not want Tennessee in the fucking Super Bowl. You do not want the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl if you're a gambler.
I tell you this. Look, I'll say this. Tennessee's best chance to getting to a Super Bowl is indeed if Buffalo beats New England. If Buffalo beats New England and they can get past Cincinnati, Bills do not have the defense to stop a 65% Derrick Henry. They just don't. They do not.
Hold on. It would be Titans and Steelers for Jawan. Oh, that's right. If they reseed, it wouldn't be. He's right. It wouldn't be as far. It wouldn't be as easy as that. He's completely right. We can't do it this way because it wouldn't be as easy. Okay. Wait, no, because that's how it's seeded, Mike.
Why would you reseed after the first round?
I don't understand. That's
doesn't make any sense.
It would be Titans and Steelers for Jawan. Well, then why would they have it structured, this bracket like this? Although I did find it on the internet, it doesn't mean it's 100% certain.
Right, hold on, let me go on the NFL website.
Yeah, I was gonna say go to NFL and they should have the actual bracket.
I think he's right though. I think it gets reseeded. No,
why would it be? That wouldn't make any sense.
Titans have to play the lowest seed left. It's not the lowest seed as of now. It's the lowest seed left.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
So if the Steelers won, is what he's saying, which is true, then the Titans would have to play the Steelers, no?
What seed is the Steelers?
The Steelers is the lowest seed.
No, then he is right. Yeah, he is right.
So
that wouldn't make a difference to me.
Well, no, I would. Well, you would pick the Steelers or the Titans?
No. I'm saying I don't fear any team not named Bills or Chiefs. That's my point. So if they reseed or don't reseed, I'm not concerned about anyone that's not the Bills or the Chiefs. So if you eliminate both the Bills and the Chiefs, I'm telling you right now, Vegas will pick New England to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Titans face lowest seed no matter what. So all right, so we can't really go that far because we don't really know.
Sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. That's what the number one seed does. That's what they would have done if they didn't add another team to the playoffs. And two teams got a chance to get rest. The lowest seeds would eat each other up. Eat each other out. Wow.
Yeah, you got to watch out. Those lower seeds.
They would take each other out, and then whoever's the lowest, because that's what you do. Unfortunately, in sports, you take the best team and you make them play the worst team.
Gotcha.
That's the advantage that you give him. So he's absolutely right. But I'm just saying I don't fear Tennessee, Cincinnati, or the Steelers. So to me, it's fine.
Well, you also didn't say you fear the Bills, which is why he said, "Ouch."
Well, I only don't fear the Bills because they're my AFC East opponent. I guess.
All right, so
fear.
we'll leave it. We'll leave it at this. and then we'll just revisit this next week. And then obviously, as far as seating goes, I can move these icons around, and we'll do the actual seating. So we'll do them weekend by weekend. We'll just do that. We've already given out because we gave our predictions before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
So we now I wanted to have fun with this, but it's true. I just realized that it wouldn't be as simple as these teams playing these teams. So we'll see what happens. But all right.
That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Hey.
The highest seed playing the lowest seed? That's happened for forever, Mike.
It's real life, Mike.
No, but the way that the playoffs were structured, it shouldn't be that way.
It
is what it is.
It doesn't sound fair, but that's sports.
It is what it is. But hey, I'm happy because we don't have a 2-hour show now, which is great.
Oh wait, did you want to unless you just want to cover it once they give them out, but did you want to do a sweep real quick of the projected award winners this year?
Sure, let's talk about it. So we already talked about briefly Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it should go to Jamar Chase. You definitely think it's Jamar Chase's to lose. Mike, are you in agreement? Do you think?
I think so, because Mac Jones, the last few games, probably just fucked everything up for himself.
I agree. So we can go with Jamar Chase. Let's wait for MVP. Well, MVP will be last. What's the next one to go? Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yep.
Micah Parsons.
Do they do it for both leagues, or it's just one for per? Is it one per conference, or it's just one for the league?
It's the whole thing.
One for the league.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely agree, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Defensive Player of the Year, 1,000% is going to TJ Watt.
Okay.
1,000%.
Yeah, I mean 22.5 sacks for the year. Yes.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. And again, I know there was an extra game, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, he was out a few games, so he didn't play. He didn't play a whole season. I'm sorry. Offensive Player of the Year.
There's an Offensive Player of the Year?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, well, then you have to go Jonathan Taylor.
I was just about to say that if you're not going to give him the MVP, which I understand why, you got to give him Offensive Player of the Year. I'd definitely go Jonathan Taylor for Offensive Player of the Year. And now we come to the big.
Yeah, I'll go with Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Now we come to the big one, and that's MVP. As it stands, Mike also forgot.
Comeback Player of the Year.
Comeback Player of the Year. First of all, Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year. He thinks.
He's not. That's not a bad choice, but
I forgot about Cooper Kupp. What about Adams? Is Devontae Adams in that conversation too?
He could be in that conversation, but I'm sorry if I'm not putting Jonathan Taylor in the conversation for MVP. He has to get something. So that's Offensive Player.
And that was my thought process as well, especially with Jonathan Taylor. But Cooper Kupp does. It's going to be close. I wouldn't hate if either wins. Whether it's Cooper or Jonathan Taylor, I wouldn't hate if either wins. I personally would rather Taylor get it. But I'm going
to side with your brother because your brother's right. Since Matt Stafford won't be able to get Cooper a Super Bowl,
you got it. Okay.
He deserves a trophy for Offensive Player of the Year. So he gets something. So yeah. I'm going to side with your brother. Yeah.
Listen to Jim thinks Justin Tuck. Teasing. I know he means Jonathan Taylor. So he thinks Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year. Okay. Comeback Player of the Year.
Joe Burrow.
It's got to be Joe Burrow then. It's got to be. You think Dak?
I'm thinking it has to be Dak. It has to. Who had the better record?
Both won the division, and the Cowboys had the better record
by one, I think.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring up their pass.
I know the Cowboys went 12-5. I really don't know the Bengals. I thought the Bengals won 10 games. The Bengals win 10 or 11.
Let me see.
Mike says it's Dak without a doubt.
I just want to bring up their yards. Joe Burrow.
I thought Burrow had the better year.
I think he had the better year as well.
I thought he did too, so that's why I want to check it before
they salivated giving Cowboys rewards. It's true. As a Bengals fan, I fully expect Dak because of the Cowboy bias.
So he was 34-14 with 4,611 yards. That's Joe Burrow. And let's see, Dak Prescott stats. Let's see. And this year, Dak went 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. 4,449 yards.
Also, I know they weren't there a couple of games together. We've said this, though, too. Burrow's got Chase to throw to. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Dak has got, like, an offensive...
He has Zeke. He has...
Well, not Zeke.
He can
throw to Zeke if he wants to.
He has Amari Cooper. He has Dalton Schultz. He has...
Yeah, Dak has got a lot more
He has a lot more
weapons
targets.
Well. But I wouldn't be surprised if either wins. I personally would rather Burrow, but I can see it going to Dak. And Dak did play an extra game versus backups this week. Backups this week.
Dak, 4,000.
Stat padded.
I'm gonna go Dak. I'm just gonna go Dak. Again, you can't hold weapons against the guy. My team did a better job surrounding me with talent, so
yeah,
I take a loss for that. Tell your organization to do better. I think it's more unfair if you're Joe Burrow. The fact that you could only throw to one guy and it worked that often.
Receivers in Cincy aren't horrible. That is true. I mean,
no, he's right. He's right on that.
They're not bad. They're not bad at all.
All right, so Dak, whatever.
You know what? I'm out. I'll say this because you were saying how Cowboys have better receivers. They don't have one singular receiver that's anywhere near Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that is true. Boyd, Higgins, frig, the Giants would be lucky. That is true. Boyd. All right.
Let's get to the big one.
The big one. That's what she said. Let's go to the big one. All right.
That's what Louise said.
The big one. The season's over.
30 seconds.
MVP. I will say one of the MVP candidates did give himself a push yesterday in yesterday's game. Granted, again, we have a 17-game season, but he gave himself a little bit of a push there, Tommy boy. So, look, I can't deny the fact that if you go by yardage, obviously it's not close. But if you go by touchdowns and the fact that he only threw 4 interceptions, I mean, it's hard not to talk about Rodgers in the conversation for MVP as it stands. You know, oh, wait, forgot. Yeah, definitely Joe Judge, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? You know what's funny? I would have told you 4 weeks ago, Bill Belichick, and it's not even close. There's no one else in the conversation. But seeing how that season ended, hell no. It goes to Cincinnati's head coach. That's a Coach of the Year.
You going since?
No one had that team being as good as they are. No one. Not a soul.
I love him or hate him, A-Rod MVP. All right. And, you know, and again, you can't be, yeah. Zach Taylor.
Oh.
He's a coach.
Who the fuck is Zach Taylor? Oh,
I know who
he's the coach of the Bengals?
I think I don't know. I know he's a coach. I can't remember because somebody was talking about it.
Yes, he is. He is the coach.
What about the guy that took over for Gruden in Las Vegas?
Nah, didn't coach a full season.
Yeah, and that's coach for the Bengals.
But you took a train wreck fucking team and put them to the playoffs.
If the Raiders, when Gruden left, were 0-5, and then he led them to the playoffs, I would agree. They did not have a horrible record when Gruden left. Not enough for me to give it to this guy. No, I can't.
All right, so you both going Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, it's not even close.
I want to, but I think now the comment of calling the reporter that said that he wasn't voting for him a bum now is going to.
I mean, the guy basically it's not a reflection on Aaron Rodgers. It's a reflection of how but here's what it's a reflection of, and it's exactly what me and Mike were talking about. It's the fact that they are going to hold him accountable for everything else off field and not vote him in just because of that.
Jonathan Taylor is going to get the MVP by process of elimination because of what happened.
I'm telling you now, if Aaron doesn't get it, there are 2 to 3 more quarterbacks that will get it before John. They're not giving it to a running, especially for a franchise that did not make the playoffs. Sean Alexander led the Seahawks to the playoffs. You could reward that. This, no, absolutely not. Jonathan Taylor.
I want to take a look at one thing.
What are you looking at? My pick is going to be Tom.
Because Jawan always says that it has to do with what Vegas says, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking Tom. I think Tom is the favorite. No,
I'm pulling it up right now. Give me a minute.
That's what she said.
Ew, what is she pulling up that she needs to?
She's pulling it up, Jawan.
AB scrotum. That's what he's pulling. That's what she's pulling up. Right. NFL. Here we go.
Mike said Rodgers is favorite.
Rodgers is favorite. Brady is second choice. Cup, Burrow. Oh, Jonathan Taylor really fell off.
Yeah.
Taylor was like, don't be trying to listen to me. I'm trying to tell you they're not giving it to a running back. They're just not. This team didn't have enough success for you to put it all on the running back. Adrian Peterson, I think the year he won MVP, he only won it because he came back the same year he tore his ACL. He came back the same year, and Minnesota went to the playoffs, I believe.
You can't see Cooper Kupp winning this?
Hell no.
I think a player who accounts for 80% of the team offense, cough, cough, Josh Allen.
Yeah, but you could make a case that he's been very up and down this year.
15 interceptions, that's up there.
Well, hey, Josh Allen getting 6.5 to 1 on your money on that one.
Only Matthew Stafford right now has more than 17.
Let me say this, Mike. And I know you're going to say a lot of things worked against it. I'm telling you right now, those voters watched that Monday night game against New England. That game, they were looking for Josh Allen to have a coming out party. He didn't. They held that against him. I'm telling you right now, they held that game against him. They did. They for sure did. Just like
if it's not going to go to Brady, then it's got to go. I mean, if it's not going to go to Aaron Rodgers for the bullshit,
it's got to go to Brady.
It's got to go to. I hate to say it's got to go to Brady, but I mean, I don't want it to go to Brady.
I mean, statistically, he is. Again, take away the interceptions, and it's 8 more than Rodgers has. It's a lot. He has 12.
Take away the interceptions.
Yeah. No, I'm saying take away the interceptions. It's 8. It's a total of 8. That's a lot. Aaron Rodgers only threw 4. I get it.
You got to reward that. I make better decisions when I throw the football.
Right. I get it. But at the same time,
like you said, though, the bullshit with the off.
He's 40.
What he did.
44 years old.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, though, basically saying that, I might not be coming back. I don't want to come back. Then he did the fucking thing with the COVID shit. And remember how this media leans. God forbid you say something bad, they're going to go against you. Then he calls the guy a bum, the reporter. You know what?
Whoa, what are you talking about, Mike?
Oh,
yeah, wait a minute. He's saying Allen has more. Are you talking about total? Are you talking about total? Because that is not passing. He does not have more. Total, maybe, because he runs the ball more than the other two. But Brady leads the league with total touchdowns passing. He's got 43. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen has 36, and then Aaron Rodgers has 37. 37 passing. You
guys have to stop saying take away the interceptions. That's very important.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though, too. I understand you interceptions are there as well, but again, I don't have it in front of me. But how many of those interceptions came off of tip passes and all those, or the passes that should have been caught, out of the receiver's hands? On paper, it's an interception, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was the quarterback's fault.
Nope, but that's all that matters. Does it count as an interception for the quarterback? As long as it still does, that's your interception to live with. Doesn't matter why. That's yours to live with.
All I'm saying
is here. If let's play devil's advocate like you're playing, right? How many interceptions does Aaron Rodgers have this year?
4.
Okay. 4. So if I go back and look, and any of those are tipped off or deflected, so then
which I'm sure there is.
So that means I could go with the argument Aaron Rodgers has no interceptions this year. We can't play that game because then it's just like, well, then overwhelmingly it should go to Aaron Rodgers.
See, he thinks
I'm just gonna go with Rodgers for MVP.
But here's that's kind of what I was trying to say. And it's true, and that's why I was looking at another big stat. interceptions aren't as big of a deal these days because it is true. You have these quarterbacks that throw these little dinks and dunks. It raises up their percentage. It raises up their total yards, and there's fewer interceptions because they're not throwing it down the field as much.
I'm sorry, and why is that? Why is that a negative reflection on me that I make better decisions?
That's not necessarily a better decision. That's just your offensive scheme. It's just a different offensive scheme.
But Brandon's saying he'd rather someone who throws it down the field and averages 15 interceptions. That's not smart play calling. That to me, that's not. I don't want a Brett Favre who gives me just as many touchdowns as interceptions.
That's now. Hold on a second. 43 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Let's go with Brady's numbers.
No. I'm not talking about Brady. I'm saying I don't want a quarterback who is high risk, high reward. I don't want that.
Justin Herbert, 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Justin Herbert is that. The 15 interception guy.
I wouldn't want the high risk, high reward. I'm not talking about these guys that you're naming. I'm talking about what the definition of what Brandon is saying, a guy who is just flinging it. I don't need that.
Honestly, Mike, Stafford is another one. Stafford's another one in that talks. Just under 5,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, but 17 interceptions. And the reason why I wouldn't give it to Stafford is because I've seen those interceptions. Those were thrown literally right to the fucking other team.
I also would need to know a big thing that a lot of these voters pay attention to is prime time.
And that's what Brandon needs to clarify. And that's exactly why I was agreeing with him. It's true. If he throws 15 interceptions and has only 15 touchdowns, by all means, no. But if he has 30 touchdowns and 15 interceptions or less, it doesn't matter to him, is what he's saying.
Okay, well then that's a huge. That's not as simple as you're making it because it's like, all right, I had 15 interceptions. My record is 10-7. Could my record be better without those 15 interceptions? That's my point. So all I'm saying is, again, Aaron Rodgers is the number 1 seed, right? If you don't want to count yesterday's loss in a game where he didn't play the full game.
Yeah, I don't really count. I don't count that. Yeah.
So you look at record, touchdowns, interceptions, and then you got to kind of go, okay, let's take all the off the field stuff out of the way. Clearly, he had the best season. Doesn't matter if he was dinking, dunking. That team made the best decisions to win games, and that record reflects. That's all I'm saying. So to me, I don't want my quarterback throwing 15 interceptions, and my record is 10-7.
So and we were talking about that. Kirk Cousins, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Why not? Why? I mean, I'm not going to put him in the MVP. He's not an MVP candidate.
I'm not giving MVP to someone who didn't make the playoffs.
You can't put him in MVP candidate talks, but at the same time, 4,200 yards passing, 4,200 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. That's, in my eyes, not his fault that the team is the way they were.
No, what I keep saying is
yes, Trevor Lawrence, the wannabe Brett Favre. Yeah, well, how many interceptions does this guy throw? Jesus Christ.
Well, a lot of that you can chalk up to a lot of people do this in their rookie years. They just look bad.
12 and 17. 12,
what he
17.
does over the next 2 seasons is what I'll judge Trevor Lawrence on.
But he's that guy, not a high risk, and I don't think he is a high risk. And also, it doesn't hurt that they have Dalvin Cook on the as a running back.
No, he's not.
And Justin Jefferson.
He's not a high risk, but Kirk Cousins will lose you games that matter, and that's his problem. That's what's attached to his name.
Aaron Rodgers has a higher quarterback rate at 112. We'll round it up to 112. And again, I'm saying it's got to come down to these two. And if you just go by on field, granted, he's got 8 more interceptions, but I think it's also got over 1,000 yards more throwing. But he's also played a couple of more games.
But also, again, it shouldn't be an indictment on me that I have a good running back, so I don't have to throw for that extra 1,000 yards. Yeah. I can just hand it off. I have a comparable touchdown stats, less interceptions, better passer rating, and I have the number 1 overall seed in the NFC, and you could make a case he has the best record in the NFL. And you're telling me on the field only, you're not going to give it to that guy?
I do know that. I do know Brady is the least sacked of all the lowest of all 17 starting quarterbacks. Forgot to mention that. Thank you, Browns, for keeping a horrible quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Gotta love it. Oh,
all right. So what are we doing? We're arguing now for 20 minutes.
we're not arguing. We're this is called debating. This is debating. I'm all in agree. I'm in agreement that Aaron Rodgers deserves it. I'm not saying he does it, but if they're not going to give it to Rodgers because of whatever off-field stuff before season or during the season, then it's obviously going to go to Tom Brady by default. But I'm also saying though too that I think Brady should get it anyway. That's my pick. I know you guys are going with Rodgers, and rightfully so. Great year, great team, the best in the league. I can't argue any of these things that you're saying. There is no way to argue it. I agree. And yeah, Burrow was sacked 51 times and still scored 35 touchdowns and brought to the playoffs. Yeah. That's why I was going with comeback player of the year for Joe Burrow. I can see why some people like my brother Mike basically said, I think they got to be in the league or at least play a full season, but the year before to be called a comeback player of the year. So in that regard, I can understand why you guys agree that Dak should get it. I think Dak.
Joey, check your messenger.
No. I didn't hold that against Joe Burrow. I told you he played at least 10 games.
Dude, all you have to just say you have to go.
I know, but I didn't want to leave without the show ending. So,
all right, you could.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're going 20 minutes talking about MVPs over here. Just say Rodgers, Brady. Whoever picks Rodgers, whoever picks Brady.
We were talking about other things, though. It's not a big deal. I got to go move my car anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Sorry, I have to go.
No, you're good. I said Rodgers. I was good at Rodgers.
I said Brady. I was good at Brady. Mike, we were just waiting for you.
I'm going with Rodgers, even though I think he's going to get screwed. But I'll still go with Rodgers because he deserves it.
That's who you want. All right. I think Brady's going to get it.
All right, guys. I'll see you. I'll talk to you guys later. Seriously, I got to go.
I'll see you Tuesday.
All right,
guys. We're going to end it here. I mean, the guy sometimes rants about 20 minutes about fucking AB's blowjobs and stuff. All right, just say, and Mike says he said Josh Allen. He's good at Josh Allen. It's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah, from the Jaguars. Yeah, I'm with
yes, you. Josh Allen from the Jaguars is going to win MVP. Well, he's definitely MVP of that game. I'll tell you that.
1,000%.
All right, guys. So next week, obviously because of the wild card weekend, I see listener Jim's comment. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but because of the wild card weekend next week, we're going to do the show on Tuesday morning at 11, just so we get all the games and we can talk about all the games. And of course, we'll do our predictions for the divisional round next week. Really quick, I was going to say JT MVP and Batman versus Superman for the Oscar. I would, yeah, why not? Why not? Elbow cough. Get that checked out, by the way. Get that checked out. Go get tested. All right, guys. Jawan, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. As always, the link to your YouTube channel is in the description, as is Mike's. We will see everybody really soon. All right, guys. See you next week. And of course, stay tuned for other things coming up on the channel at some point this week. Book of Boba Fett and all that other greatness. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see everybody really soon. Have a great day.